I stumbled across one of your videos randomly, and it was your elevation video.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jared. I'm an atheist, and this is Atheist Church Audit. Today, I went to Elevation Church.
I was like, oh, this video is so good. And I was like, wait, am I gonna make it in this video? And sure enough, I made it into the video.
Dude, I know that a lot of evangelicals really hate Elevation Church.
To deny that Stephen Furtick has some questionable doctrine, doesn't seem to have any elders to hold him accountable, is spiritual gaslighting.
Oh, this is interesting, man. Like the angle of Atheist Church Audit.
Ruslan.
All right, today's guest, philosopher, multi-instrumentalist, breeder of fine horses.
That one.
No, I'm
That's
just
the one.
joking. Jared from Heliocentric. Thank you for being here, bro.
Thanks so much for having me, Ruslan.
I'm pumped, man. I stumbled across one of your videos randomly a couple months ago, maybe 6 months ago. I don't remember how long. It felt like a while ago, and it was your elevation video. And I oddly enough, I was like, oh, this video is so good. And I was like, wait, am I gonna make it in this video? Am I gonna make it in this video? I don't want to make it in this video. and sure enough, I made it into the video.
Dude.
Of a clip that, mind you, is not on YouTube anymore.
Really?
I'll tell you the backstory of that some other time. And I was like, oh, this is interesting, man. Like the angle of Atheist Church Audit.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who is going in and touring churches and just kind of giving their honest thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember where exactly you were at that point in subscribers, but your channel was kind of taking off fairly fast.
Yeah.
And you do these like good, I would call good faith interactions with churches and cults. And I'm assuming you're going to go into other religions as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, this is such an interesting angle. And then the more I kind of heard and watched your story, the more I'm like, oh, this guy, I like him. And I think you have a lot of value to offer in terms of just your perspective as kind of a former insider turned outsider into church culture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And your deconversion story is interesting. And hopefully that could help people from a practical standpoint.
Sure.
And yeah, I just thought, man, it'd be fun to have you on. From what I've watched, you're not someone that's trying to tear down religion. You seem to have a net positive view of Christianity or streams of Christianity.
Yeah.
And so I figured we'd have a conversation, but you could speak into that.
No, 100%. Yeah. So I mean, as far as whether Christianity is a net positive or net negative.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a secondary question to me. I kind of see Christianity and just religion in general as like a necessity. You know, it's going to be here forever. It's not going away anytime soon. So rather than the discussion of like, well, is religion good? Is it bad? To me, that's sort of secondary because I see religion as more like government.
Okay.
You know, government is never going to go away. It's more so a discussion of like, how do you do governments that work? How do you do them well? And I kind of see religion in the same way. It's like there's really solid and healthy and beautiful permutations of Christianity. And then there are some that are really nefarious and destructive. And within each group, you know, you've got positive things, positive practices, and then some stuff that's, kind of hurtful.
So it seems like watching you and in interacting with other atheists, folks who maybe have deconverted, I'm getting the sense that there's less and less atheists of the new atheist stream, where they kind of just stayed in that cage stage too long, you know?
Right.
And it seems like I have a massive update for you. I'm sure by this point you've heard about the Blessed God Summit happening March 27th, 28th, 29th here in beautiful Carlsbad, California. But we've heard your requests. We've conceded to your demand. There are virtual tickets that are now available for the Blessed God Summit, so you can access it from anywhere in the world, as well as access to the replays. And for those of you guys that are looking for something extra, we're also offering a virtual ticket and an exclusive Bless God Summit merch bundle. There's some amazing art and some exclusive pieces done by our friend Josh Nadeau from Sword and Pencil that you have to check out. So join us online for the virtual event and experience some sessions from my favorite podcasters, pastors, and performers. We have a stacked lineup. I'm talking about Preston Perry, Dr. Sean McDowell, Inspiring Philosophy. What do you mean? Lila Rose, Alan Parr, and his wife Jen Parr. We even have Nate Sala from Wise Disciple, Gavin Ortland, David Wood, Avery from God Logic Apologetics. And on the pastoral side, we have my friend Daniel Golding, Pastor Ed Newton from CBC in San Antonio, and my personal pastor from Rhythm Church, Pastor Jeff Moores, and his wife, Erin Moores. You won't want to miss out from amazing performances from America's Got Talent winner Dustin Savella, Billboard charting hip-hop artist John Keith, and Miles Minnick. And we're still finalizing a few more speakers. So head over to blessgod.shop, get your virtual ticket now, and you can get yourself a bundle with some of the exclusive merch as well. I'll see you over there, all right? Peace.
The atheists that I'm meeting nowadays they're not hell-bent on trying to pick apart people's faith.
Sure.
And how the lunacy of it. They're just kind of curious, but not combative. And even in like Alex O'Connor's tone's kind of shifted. What do you make of that? Do you think that's a macro trend of atheism? Do you think that's a micro trend of new atheism kind of leading people astray in various ways? Because you're like your channel is way different than most stuff that I see, and even someone like Myth Vision, who Derek, like I'm friendly with him. He could be kind of harsh and kind of a stickler, but then oftentimes we'll just interact privately or some of his videos, and he's not being the same as like I remember the New Atheist, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So what do you make of all that?
So in my mind, kind of the narrative or the story or the chronology of how all this unfolded was like you have, kind of 2005-ish is when the God delusion drops. Richard Dawkins comes on the scene. And I think that book and the Christopher Hitchens stuff and the Sam Harris stuff, I think that all that was really good. I think that Christianity was kind of the unquestionable zeitgeist at the time. And there were abuses and, things that it was so inappropriate to question. And I think that those things needed to be taken to task. I think that Christianity needed to have a mirror held up to its face and say, hey, you can't do things like this. The pedophile priest scandal coming to light, a lot of the like hyper conservative mixing God with religion, or I'm sorry, mixing politics with religion. I think that needed a light shown on it. And so the harshness of the new atheists, I think looking back, I can really understand it and where they were coming from. And like, reading Christopher Hitchens now, it almost feels tame. It's like, yeah, these criticisms are like really criticizing the excesses of religion. I think where the new atheists kind of went awry is that they were focusing on the worst permutations of religion rather than just the average believer. And now with what I do in auditing these churches and going and talking to pastors and imams and rabbis and, the average parishioner of a cult or a denomination, it gives me a much better sense of like, yeah, but who are the average, real, everyday players in this? Okay. So, when I deconverted, my whole story, so I converted at 13. In high school, I was a worship leader, a chaplain, and a street preacher. Then I went through a 3-year pseudo seminary with Dr. Michael Brown at Fire School of Ministry. Was a hyper charismaniac for a while. And then after that, I got my undergrad at Wheaton College. So spent 4 years there and then deconverted halfway through my time at Wheaton. I think when I was a teenager, the new atheists really scared me. It was like, oh man, who are these big bagged atheists who have something that's going to threaten my faith? And I think when I soon after deconverted, I felt like a lot of resentment towards them because it felt like, I stopped believing kicking and screaming. I did everything in my power to try to, hold on to the last remnants of my faith and then just ultimately concluded that it wasn't true. But I had a lot of spite for the new atheists because it felt like they were, they were criticizing the Kenneth Copelands or, the worst permutations of religion. And, here I was a 15-year-old, trying to love my neighbor and figure out how to live honestly given the reality of heaven and hell. And it felt like I was caught in the crossfire of that war that was going on. And, now that I'm older and I've gone back and read some of the new atheist stuff, I don't have any spite for them. I don't have any distaste for them. I think it was just an unfortunate accident that, honest believers kind of got caught up in that.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Please be sure to comment below and subscribe and all that good stuff. And check out this other video that YouTube seems to be recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.